Okay, so what I'm going to be showing you here today is a review of what we went through in class on Friday. This is a procedure for consolidating and organizing your media on your hard drives, combining more than one project into the same work area so you can have sequences that multiple people have worked on previously combined into the same timeline with all your edits preserved, and sharing your final projects on the Google Drive site so that you can move forward with your editing collaboratively where more than one person can be working on a project at the same time. Alright, so the sequence that I'm going to be using is from Sheila's Space Project. So this was the patio in the back of their house. It has some sounds underneath it. And what I'm going to be doing is combining this, I'm going to save it real quickly, with another project I've made just specifically for today. It's on another hard drive that I have, and that is this project here, which I've just made up, and it's gleaned from the footage that Mark took at the last Ciclavia event. Just a very brief sequence of shots, and I'm going to combine this with Sheila's Space Portrait and show a way to do this so that you can get it up on the Google Drive site. So we're going to start by opening up Sheila's project. That's where we're going to go first. Okay, so there it is. Now, the first thing that I'd asked you to do, I'm going to hide Sheila's project here, was to organize your footage that was on your hard drive already. And this was to prevent confusion later on when you had multiple projects that had similar project file names or identical file names in some cases. Because when you record on these cameras, they just record with this MVI tag and then a number that goes after it. And the same with the GoPro. It says GoPro and then a number. So if you have just those file names to go by, it can be pretty confusing. So what I've done, I've created a folder here that says Sheila Patio Space. And I'm going to take all three of these folders, which I know are from this Patio Space project, and drag them into that one. So they're properly organized. And keep in mind, when you name a file folder or a project or a sequence, you want to put the date with year, month, and then day. The name of the project, ideally second, and then the name of the person working on that project, third. Okay, so I've just placed these three files inside of this master file, and when I go back to Adobe Premiere, it's going to say that all of this media is offline, and it's going to ask me where these files are. All right, I'm going to cancel this. You can look for them that way. I want to show you the other way to do this. So if you see this little logo with a question mark on it, means it doesn't know where this file is. But we can tell Adobe Premiere to find these files. If we select them all, hold down Shift to select all of those files in that folder. See there? Hold down Control and click, and go to this Link Media option. Now it says, okay, where is this file 0371? So the easiest way to do it, if you don't know where it is to search for 0371. It's a file name. It's not actually finding that yet on this computer. Probably hasn't archived it yet from Sheila's project. So if we go to this over here, 0371, finding the search option will work on your projects in particular. Okay, so we just found all of those. We can do the same thing inside of these next two folders. So we link the media here. Okay, just found that one. Okay, and this folder has all the rest of the clips we're going to be using, so we'll highlight all these. Control, and I click, link media. Where is 0358? Let's see if it finds it this time. Nope, still no luck on that. Okay, so now it's going to find all the rest of those folders automatically, all those files that are in that folder automatically. So now we're organized and we're relinked, and we're ready to save this project. So I hit Command S, save. And now we're going to bring this project into the one that I showed previously that had Mark's brief sequence there. Now before we do that, we have to copy our media from this drive onto the second drive, which is Mark's. So it's fairly simple to do. You just select everything that's on one hard drive and you drag it like that into this other hard drive. To save time on the demo, I've already copied this master folder with these 3 embedded folders inside of it onto Mark's drive here. And you can see it right there. This way you have all of the footage from the entire project on this particular drive. And if you were doing, you'd do this back the other way as well. You'd copy all the footage from the projects that Mark had taken onto Sheila's drive over here. So you'd have a full copy of your footage on both hard drives. Okay. So next, in Adobe Premiere, I'm going to open up a demo project that I had up there before. Okay, so this has the bike sequence. You can see as I click through, it ends on this shot here of a bike wheel. And now what I can do is import that other project that we had opened up. Projects by date. Here we go. This is the one that I was working on before. It brings up this option. Do you want to import the entire project or select sequences? I would select the entire project so you have everything that your classmates have done. And it shows up as a folder here. And keep in mind you can switch between the icon view and the list view just with those 2 buttons on the left-hand side. Alright, now the only one I want to really be looking at here, Sheila's project, and she had sequence 1. That was the one that she had before. Now, you know, if we really want to name this properly, we'll do it with the date first. I don't know what date it was she worked on it. So it looked like that instead. Okay, but now I have these 2 sequences together. They've been edited and thought about. I can copy this one from Sheila's project, and I can paste it anywhere I want into this project here. The command, if you want to paste insert, is Shift Command V, and it pastes it and moves the rest of that sequence that Mark had made backwards. If you just do a regular paste, I'm going to undo this. If you just do a Command V, it overwrites everything. So that made Mark's sequence disappear. You don't want to do that. So Shift Command V is the way you want to do it. And I'm going to say that we're going to put Sheila's sequence first here. So we have this kind of weird transition now, TV noise and the GoPro shot into this one here. Not sure why it's black at the end. But so we have this full sequence, right? It starts as a patio. If we toggle through these shots, and we get to the bike sequence at the end. Alright, so I'm going to save this project now. This project has everything on it that we need. And it has all the edit marks, so we can adjust these shots. We have access to the master clips, so we're very flexible in editing this project now. Okay, so I've saved it here. And now I'm going to quit out of Adobe Premiere. So a projects by date folder, and this was one I just made. Here it is, our demo for class, Andy, with the date on it. And this is the one you want to upload into the Google Drive site. So we drag this up here, upload and share. Okay, so here it is. This is great. I can now download this project if I want to. Let's say I'm on a different computer. This is another time. I want to see what editing work Mark did on the project. I click Control on that icon there and I go to download. Okay, it's going to show up in my downloads here momentarily. I'm going to look this up and I am going to drag it into my projects by date folder on Sheila's hard drive this time. Okay, put it right in there. Okay, and before I start working, I'm going to change the name at the end. I'm Sheila now, on another computer somewhere else. In this way, when I'm done and I upload this back to the Google Drive site, my group mates are going to know who did this project. So if I open this up in Adobe Premiere, it will have that project there. Now keep in mind, when you're working on these, we're assuming that you've copied all this material from Mark's drive onto Sheila's drive, just as we did with Sheila's material onto Mark's drive. And that way you'll have access to everything on those hard drives externally. Okay. And so here it is. This is a project that has now gone into our cloud, the Google Drive site, and I've downloaded it. Could download it anywhere. It could be on another computer. But now I, as Sheila, can edit this project. And when I'm finished, I can save it and do the same thing. I upload it to that Google Drive site again. The date properly labeled, and we'll be good to go. Okay. So that's pretty much all the news there is to use for this particular part of the editing. Feel free to get in touch with me if you have further questions. So, okay.